5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Go for launch.
Have you ever wondered why SpaceX's Starship rockets keep blowing up? Is it because Elon Musk likes to see things go boom? Or is it because he's secretly testing a new weapon of mass destruction? Well, hopefully neither of those is true. In this video, we're going to take a deeper dive into what went wrong and what went right with the first and second flight of Starship, and what SpaceX has planned for the future. But first, let me ask you, do you think the third time is going to be the charm for Elon and the SpaceX team? Let me know in the comments below, and be sure to like and subscribe if you learn a thing or two in this video. Trust me, you don't want to miss this explosive story. Later on in the video, we'll also touch on why Starlink satellites might destroy you by landing on your head. I know it sounds crazy, but you'll want to hear it for yourself. Now let's take a quick look at what Starship is and why it's SpaceX's dream machine for sending humans to other planets. Because, you know, Earth is getting boring and crowded. SpaceX's Starship is a massive rocket that consists of two stages: the Super Heavy booster, which provides the initial thrust to escape Earth's gravity, and the Starship itself, which can carry up to 100 passengers and cargo to the Moon, Mars, and beyond. The Starship is designed to be fully reusable, meaning that both stages can land back on Earth and be refueled and relaunched. I know it sounds great, but there's just one tiny problem. It likes to blow up. Well, let me explain. SpaceX has been launching and landing Starship prototypes like there's no tomorrow, but so far they haven't managed to stick the landing without making a big boom. Each attempt seems to encounter some unexpected issues, and believe it or not, some of the reasons are downright hilarious. Let's explore them together, here we go. Starship SN8 was the first Starship prototype that looked like a real rocket, not a flying water tower. It did 4 test fires before it was ready to fly high in the sky. On December 9, 2020, SN8 soared to 12.5 kilometers, or 7.8 miles, shutting down its engines one by one like a boss. Then it did a belly flop, falling back to Earth like a pancake. But when it tried to land, it had a problem: not enough gas in the tank. So it smashed into the ground and went boom. The FAA was not happy with SpaceX because they broke the rules and ignored the warnings of bad shockwaves. They gave them a timeout for 2 months. On February 2nd, 2021, Starship SN9 said, "Hold my beer," and launched to 10 kilometers or 6.2 miles, following SN8's footsteps. But when it came back down, it had a bigger problem. One engine did not light up, so it crashed and burned. A month later, on March 3rd, Starship SN10 said, "Watch this," and launched to the same height as SN9. It actually landed, but it was not a smooth landing. It broke its legs and tilted to the side. A fire started at the bottom. It exploded less than 10 minutes later, maybe because of a leaky tank. On March 30th, Starship SN11 said, "I can do better," and flew into thick fog, following the same path as SN10. It exploded in mid-air, maybe because of too much gas in the engine. In March 2021, SpaceX showed off their plan to build a lot of stuff in Texas: launch pads, landing pads, test stands, and a giant tank farm. They also had a crazy idea to turn the nearby village into a place called Starbase. The locals were not amused and feared that SpaceX might kick them out of their homes. In the beginning of April, the orbital launch pad got some shiny new fuel tanks to feed its hungry rockets. They skipped a few prototypes and went straight to SN15, which had better everything. On May 5th, SN15 flew to the sky, did the same tricks as the others, and landed in one piece. It had a little fire, but they put it out and celebrated the first high-altitude test that didn't end in a boom. Later, SpaceX admitted that SN15 had some problems while landing, like losing gas and an engine. Now let's leave Texas behind and travel back in time to July 2021. This time it wasn't just about prototypes. SpaceX was ready for the real deal. They were ready for the first integrated test flight of Starship. And let me tell you, it was a wild ride. Super Heavy BN3 fired up 3 engines for the first time. SpaceX also changed their names from SN and BN to Ship and Booster, because why not? A month later, they stacked Ship 20 on top of Booster 4, making the biggest rocket ever. Ship 20 also had a shiny heat shield to protect it from the heat of re-entry. In October, they added some giant arms to the tower to catch the boosters, and finished building the first tank farm. 2 weeks later, they announced plans to build a new launch pad at Kennedy Space Center. In early 2022, Raptor 2 engine was spotted for the first time. It was supposed to be better than Raptor 1, but we'll see. In June, the FAA said that Starbase didn't need a full environmental review, but they still had to fix a lot of issues. In July, Booster 7 tested all 33 engines, but something went wrong, and it blew up a pipe and damaged the launch pad. By the end of November, Ship 24 and Booster 7 did some more tests and finally fired 31 engines at half power. One engine didn't start and another one quit. In January 2023, Starship did a dress rehearsal, where it filled up with more than 4,500 tons of fuel. After a cancelled launch on April 17th, Booster 7 and Ship 24 took off on April 20th in the first orbital flight test. 3 engines died during the launch and more failed during the flight. The rocket also lost control of the engines and started spinning like crazy. It reached a height of 24 miles, which is not even close to orbit. At around 3 minutes after liftoff, the rocket got a command to self-destruct, but it didn't work, and the rocket kept spinning for another 40 seconds before it finally exploded. If everything had gone well, the rocket would have flown around the world and splashed down in the Pacific Ocean near Hawaii.
But it didn't.
And it was a huge mess. After the first Starship test flight went kaboom, SpaceX had to fix the launch pad and make it stronger. They also added a water spray system to cool things down. Ship 25 and Booster 9 were ready for another try in May, but the FAA said
Not so fast.
They wanted SpaceX to explain what went wrong and how to prevent it from happening again. SpaceX gave them a long list of things they did to improve their rocket, but the FAA took their sweet time to check it. Finally, in November, the FAA said, "Okay, fine, you can launch." But then a problem with the grid fins made them wait another day. On November 18, 2023, the big show began. Ship 25 and Booster 9 zoomed into the sky with 33 engines roaring. They split up nicely and the booster flipped over to come back home. But then, something went horribly wrong. The booster exploded in mid-air, creating a huge fireball. The second stage kept going until it reached space, but then it also went bye-bye. SpaceX said they blew it up on purpose, but no one knows for sure. It came crashing down somewhere near the Virgin Islands, according to the weather radar. So what's next for SpaceX's Starship? Well, SpaceX hopes to launch its next Starship, SN16, in early 2024. They say it'll be better than the previous ones, and it'll fly around the world and land in the ocean near Hawaii. That sounds like a nice vacation, but it's actually a test for the real mission, going to the moon. SpaceX has a contract with NASA to land humans on the moon with Starship, as part of the Artemis program. But before they can do that, they have to prove that Starship can handle the heat and speed of coming back from the moon. They also have to launch a lot of Starships to fill up a gas station in orbit, so that the lunar Starship can refuel and go to the moon. SpaceX has a lot of work to do and a lot of challenges to overcome. However, they're not giving up because they have a vision of making humanity a multi-planetary species. These people have a blast because they love rockets and fireworks, and they're not scared of the quirks. As their boss Elon Musk once said, "No pain, no gain. If things are not exploding, you're not rocketing enough." Well, not exactly. What he actually said was, failure is an option here. If things are not failing, you're not innovating enough. But you get the idea. And now let's move on to Starlink. Okay, imagine this. You're wandering on the street, living your life, when all of a sudden, a metal pipe plunges from the sky and bashes you on the head. You're gone in a blink. What a way to go, huh? But it's not just bad luck. It could be, well, I won't spoil the surprise for you. We actually made a video on this topic, and trust me, you don't want to miss it. So click here to watch the video now. You'll be glad you did. Or maybe not.